Brainy Dose presents 10 Things Introverts Want You to Know. Most people consider themselves either an introvert or an extrovert. You can, of course, have the qualities of both, which would make you an ambivert, but usually people feel they identify more with one personality type than the other. If you're an introvert, you likely feel misunderstood a lot of the time, and will probably closely resonate with the things I'm about to mention. And if you're an extrovert, chances are you just don't fully understand introverts or some of the things they do, in which case, this video is for you. Here are some things introverts want you to know. Number 1. They need time for themselves. The biggest difference between introverts and extroverts is that introverts gain energy from being alone. Being around people for an extended period of time drains introverts, and because of this, they need space to recharge. With everything going on in this world and in our daily lives, it's very important for introverts to take a few minutes or even a few hours to just be alone with their thoughts. So if you notice that an introvert in your life is asking for some time to themselves, it probably has nothing to do with you. It's simply how they re-energize. Number 2. Being quiet doesn't mean they're bored. Introverts are often more quiet and reserved. Of course, there are always exceptions. In general, however, they tend to be a little more introspective and they like to observe. You might notice that when you're out with an introvert, they aren't saying much, but that doesn't mean they're not having fun. It probably just means they're taking in their surroundings. Introverts can be quiet while still having a great time, wherever they are. Number 3. They're not antisocial. Introverts often get a bad rap as being people who hate to be around others and just want to stay home all day, every day. This simply isn't true. Not all introverts hate socializing, and not all of them are terrible at talking to others. Having said that, engaging in conversation and hanging out with others can be very tiring to introverts. They start to lose fire, and after a while, they need some time to rest. Number 4. They don't love parties. Introverts generally aren't huge fans of parties, or any large get-together for that matter. They prefer to be around smaller groups of people, like a few close friends that allow them to have actual conversations. They don't particularly enjoy talking with strangers or being surrounded by lots of people. Sure, many introverts go to parties. Most of them can handle these kinds of events in small doses, and sometimes they even have a great time. But if given the choice, they'll generally pick a night in with friends rather than a night at the club. Number 5. They hate to be interrupted. One thing you should know about introverts is that they don't like to be interrupted when they're doing something. Introverts are deep thinkers who are often very intense and get very into whatever it is they're doing or thinking about. When they get interrupted, even if it seems like they're doing nothing important, they get thrown off course and even upset. So try to be respectful of their space. Number 6. They are not shy. Another misconception is that introverts are shy, but introversion and shyness aren't the same thing, and not all introverts are shy. While introverts are not a big fan of small talk, it doesn't mean they're bad at it, or that they'll refuse to do it. It's just that they don't like it, and they usually try to avoid it. So if an introvert seems awkward or quiet instead of trying to fill the silence, it has nothing to do with you, and it doesn't mean they're shy. They simply cannot stand idle chit-chat. Number 7. They require a personal bubble. Don't be offended if an introvert avoids your enthusiastic hugs or forgets to reply to your texts. They need their space, literally and figuratively. Public display of affection isn't really their thing either, and if you sit too close to them for a while, things could get a little uncomfortable for them. Introverts like to show affection in more subtle and meaningful ways, away from the audience. Number 8. They want you to be patient. Introverts usually don't enjoy talking just for the sake of it. They often think quite a lot before speaking, so it might take them longer to say something or join a conversation. A lot of times, this pause is met by people who encourage them to speak up. But do know that if an introvert wants to speak, they will. At first, most introverts just come off as shy and quiet, but they're usually a lot of fun once you get to know them. So be patient and give them a chance. Number 9. They are not depressed. Silence does not mean depressed, and that's a super important distinction. Introverts will definitely want to set that record straight. While they too can suffer from depression, just because they're introverts does not necessarily mean they're depressed. Regardless of how much they sometimes isolate themselves, they simply enjoy being alone. Number 10. You can't make them more extroverted. Often, extroverts will go out of their way to try to make introverts more like them. They'll try to lure introverts out of their shell, try to talk them into being more social, or try to get them to speak when they don't want to. Introverts find this annoying, and the truth is that no extrovert is ever going to make any introvert more extroverted. Let's just all accept that. If you can relate to these things, then you're probably a certified introvert. Pass this video along to your family, friends, and peers. Perhaps they'll get the hint. If you're an extrovert, take these points into consideration and use them as a guideline the next time you're interacting with an introvert. What do you think? Share your thoughts, comments, and experiences below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button, and remember to click on the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out our other videos. Chances are you'll like them as well. Thanks for watching.